Hey you guys, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Ritika and I are back with Everything Psychology, and today we're gonna be talking about how mental health is not gonna affect the future of who we're gonna be. So usually if you say to someone in your family or friends that you're facing some kind of a mental health issue, then they would probably think, or they would probably say to you that you're going to be a loser, you won't be able to do things, or even a stranger person might tell that about you. But that is not really the matter. Mental health does affect your daily life, but not to that extent where you lose contact with yourself or what you want to do. And going to therapy and counseling is going to help you a lot with regaining your interest and regaining your inner self. Okay, so we're going to bring you top 5, not top 5, like very top popular people who have achieved a lot despite having mental health concerns. And Adele is one of it. So Adele, for her, in some of her interviews, she says that she's lost a part of herself after giving birth to her son. So yeah, you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, so this is a common condition that we see in mothers, and it's seen in 1 in every 1,000 women that give birth. So it is quite common, but it is hardly spoken about because mothers are usually idealized and seen as not just any other human.
Yeah.
They're seen, and especially in India, they're given like the god position,
Exactly.
right? And so it makes these women even more scared to express how they're feeling.
Yeah.
So once they give birth, so what happens is postpartum, so it's called postpartum depression, right? So it is mainly caused by the chemicals in our body, because over a period of 9 months, all of the hormones, the female reproductive hormones are like kind of heightened, and once the delivery is done, it suddenly falls.
Okay.
And that kind of causes a lot of mood swings and everything. That is, and it is not even an exaggeration, right? It is the chemical doing all of these things to the woman's body. So it is a very common condition. What we can see is it's also called the baby blues. So they don't feel an emotional connection towards the baby. They feel like they've lost themselves. They feel very detached from the baby, and sometimes they themselves have a lot of anger outbursts, and they show it up towards the partner, towards the baby. And so this really requires, like, I know one of a case where this mother just couldn't bear the crying of the baby all the time, and she was in this really low phase of her mood, and she decided to shut the baby in a cupboard and stuff like that. I know it's horrific, and we never expect a mother to behave in this way. But it is not them, it's the hormones doing things to them and their mental stability, right?
Exactly.
So I feel like women, especially in this phase of life, they need so much care, love and attention, and especially therapy, and medication in this case, to get out of that situation.
Definitely.
And one more very important thing I wanted to mention is this is also seen in men, not postpartum depression, but just the entire fact of becoming a parent causing depression. And it is even more common for men. So that is 1 in every 10 fathers have this depression when they have a kid.
I thought it was more like an anxiety thing because they're so like overwhelmed with responsibility or something.
It could be that, but mostly the depression part is also seen. Because I don't know, it's somehow related to them sort of losing their identity as an individual and just taking on the title of a parent.
Exactly.
Right?
It just puts on so much responsibility on you, and sometimes in the initial stage maybe you're not still ready with it yet because that's something super new. You're still like the initial phases of doing anything.
Anything is very,
So next time you see a mother or a father who's having super mood swings, try not to be mean to them and don't be super judgy, because you don't know what's going on with their hormones and mental health.
Let's all just be a little kinder to everybody.
I know, be kind. Oh, it's on my t-shirt, not me.
Oh my god, that's a nice
Yeah.
touch.
So the next person would be surprisingly Mark Zuckerberg, and he has something called autism spectrum disorder. And I want to know more about this autism spectrum.
Yeah, so autism spectrum is a developmental disorder that many people have, but what exactly Mark Zuckerberg has is Asperger's syndrome.
Okay.
So this
So is it like a part of autism?
So autism spectrum has a lot of other disorders in it.
Okay, okay.
So one of them is this. So
Okay.
what exactly happens in this? So yeah, you were asking me about Asperger's, right?
Mhm.
So what happens in Asperger's is these people usually have very poor interaction skills
Mm.
and they're high functioning. I need to mention that because their IQ levels are very high. Obviously, we know that with Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, look what
And-
he's done.
Yeah, exactly. And, but he hardly has any facial expressions. You see, limited facial expressions. Rarely do you see him actually responding to you talking. He's not even nodding his head or anything. There are so many videos
Yeah.
that prove that his interpersonal skills are very poor, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I remember this video gone viral
Mhm.
when Mark was in the courtroom
Yeah.
and the judge, and he barely had any expression.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
now I can understand why he has
Yeah.
that. It was very funny back then.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not even their fault because
Yeah.
it's a developmental disorder. So
Mhm.
since their childhood, this social and emotional part of them has not been developed. So
Okay.
they see such adversities. They face such adversities in
Okay.
their adulthood as well.
Okay.
And
So is it something that something that can be cured, or does
So-
it have to have regular treatment?
yeah, it can be
therapy?
managed
Okay.
using behavioral therapy and mainly behavioral therapy. It can be managed to a
Mhm.
certain extent.
Okay.
So another person who has the same disorder is Greta Thunberg. She also has Asperger's. If you've seen her very famous speeches, the way she speaks is a little odd.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to say odd, but that's how people would describe it.
Yeah,
Because,
definitely.
because if you see her expressions are very limited too, and she hardly ever has a non-verbal expression or anything. She's just her face just blank and she says things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what she also has is something called the selective mutism.
Oh.
So selective mutism is a developmental disorder again. It's a child anxiety disorder actually,
Okay.
where these kids are very quiet and they don't know how to behave in certain social situations.
Mhm.
So they do speak, they're overly interactive and very comfortable spaces, but when it comes to in front of people or unfamiliar situations, they do not know how to
Yeah.
behave.
So like Raj in Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
Right.
he could have had it since his childhood.
Childhood.
Could have.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's selective mutism. And Greta Thunberg and Raj from Big Bang Theory.
Okay, so the next one would be about Michael Jackson, and he has a body dysmorphic disorder
Mhm.
and insomnia. So this body dysmorphic disorder is where you're never happy with your body. Like if you notice Michael Jackson and his on the internet, you can see that he has these white kind of spots, and then to get rid of it, he did the skin
Yeah.
whitening thing or something, and he constantly did so many kind of plastic surgeries or cosmetic surgeries to his body, but he was never fully satisfied even after getting it done. Like he had never had that contentment after you do something that you really want. You like something, you do it, you usually feel very satisfied, but he never had it. And then he kept on doing it, and
Yeah. So, like you mentioned, insomnia and body dysmorphic
Yeah.
disorder are one of the very few issues that Michael Jackson had.
Oh,
because,
really? Okay.
Yeah, because from his childhood, when he was a part of the Jackson 5, and his father managed that band, right? So, his father was somebody that was very controlling, and so even according to Freud, right, we're supposed to experience all of the things that we are supposed to at a certain age. Otherwise, we sort of regress. Like even when we grow up chronologically, but mentally we kind of regress back to
Okay.
those ages when you don't exactly experience all of these things in childhood. So
Okay.
here Michael Jackson was a little boy that was overworked and exhausted since his childhood because of
Okay.
his controlling father, and he faced sexual abuse and domestic abuse and all of that. So yeah, so that sort of gave birth to a lot of issues within him. He had anxiety disorders and all of that. Actually, body dysmorphic disorder is also an anxiety disorder.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just like we might know a lot of people that are not happy with how they look, and we usually think it might be body dysmorphic disorder, but it's not. Let me tell you how it's different. So these people are preoccupied with one very small detail of about their looks, and they are obsessed with it throughout the day, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So they miss social events because they're unhappy about how they look. They
Oh my god.
yeah, isolate themselves because they are not okay with that one small detail, right? And these people usually go for multiple plastic surgeries, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the fact that they're not happy with the surgery, they're not just happy with how they look no matter what.
Okay.
And
So
it's
even
sad.
after like resolving the issue,
Yeah.
but they don't find it resolved.
No,
There's
they
always
don't.
a problem.
Yeah.
To them. Okay. Yeah.
So there's this constant urge to look different and look better, but they sort of never reach that saturation point where they say, yes, I'm okay with how I look.
Okay.
So this is not, we're not talking about the Kardashians who get things done just to look better. Obviously, it's not that. It's an actual anxiety issue where people have, irrational worry and irrational fear about how they look, and one important thing to distinguish just having body image issues and body dysmorphic disorder is if you're functioning in life in all settings, that's your family, your interpersonal and your work, and everything is getting disturbed just because you're obsessed with this one small detail of how you look. That's the best way to distinguish between the both.
Okay. So
yeah.
and just being concerned a little about how you look and doing something about it. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, at least being in a country like India, I'm sorry, but I think all of us are used to these snide comments about when we go to weddings and
relatives. Oh
yeah,
my god.
like you're dark, you're fat.
Yeah.
They think it's okay to pass such comments, so the
Yeah.
next time you meet somebody, we really hope you don't point out their insecurities to them,
Exactly.
because if you are seeing them, 100% sure they've already seen it themselves, right? They're aware of it.
Yeah.
So you
pretty
don't have
sure.
to, you don't have to remind them of these
Exactly.
things and
Yeah.
make it worse for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel at the same time, like there is so much hate against people who do any of these procedures, surgeries. Like, and
That's an interesting
sometimes,
point.
yeah. Yeah, like I follow this one doctor called Dr. Young on YouTube, and he says, if some people do this and they reach that saturation level of their contentment and happiness, and they find so much confidence in themselves, and I feel that's really okay.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I'm
really
saying.
their
I mean,
body, and
yeah.
if you're finding that happiness and contentment, and you're really okay with doing things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should really come from within you, not because of what others says. Then you'll be able to feel very happy with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm 100% on the same page as you are about this, but the
Yeah.
only problem I have is I want these people to actually be healthy even when they're getting such procedures, because
Yeah.
there are a lot of actors that have died because of some liposuction surgeries and all of that. It's okay if you were a little overweight, you didn't have to
Yeah, exactly.
lose your
Yeah.
life while doing such
Exactly.
procedures, right?
Yeah.
That's the
So
only issue.
take precautions, go to consult very good doctors, maybe 1, 2, 3, and then take the decision. So that'll be it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed our video, and if you could relate to any of the topics or any of the mental health concerns, about with these actors. I would really appreciate if you commented down below, or if you could share this video with someone who is facing the same concern. It would help them a lot to see someone who's done so much just by having an issue. And if you liked it, then of course please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel. And thank you so much for watching our video. Until next time, bye bye. Take care.